Okay, let's talk about Madden 23 gameplay and gameplay issues and how I believe that we can actually go about fixing them. First and foremost, on a positive note, I think that we made it through the first portion of the year in a pretty good spot gameplay-wise. The issue is right now what I'm seeing is that competitively, the game is starting to go into a bad spot. And what that means is that once it starts going to a bad spot competitively, those same tactics trickle down into just common head-to-head gameplay. So I want to, the gameplay team can take action right now and do a good job of actually getting ahead of that by following these steps I'm going to lay out, okay? So let's talk about the biggest thing in the game right now, which is high ball agging. If you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen this yet, high ball ags are insanely good when you know how to do them correctly. So how do you fix that from a fundamental standpoint? It's pretty easy. You could talk about adding in more animations, changing animations, doing this, doing that, whatever. The easiest fix for them is right now when you go to highball anything using skill-based passing or throw any pass, there's a little accuracy bar where if you hit it in there, it'll say perfect accuracy. If you miss it, it'll just say good accuracy. All right, and there's a chance when it says good accuracy, instead you'll get like a poor accuracy throw, right? There's some sort of probability. Right now, it's like 1%, not even 1%, that if you miss the perfect accuracy, you'll get a bad accuracy throw. Think about in NBA 2K, where if you don't get a perfect accuracy shot, sometimes you'll actually miss it. Right now, if you don't get a perfect accuracy throw, you'll pretty much hit that throw every single time. With high balls, the margin of error or the consequence of error for not getting a perfect throw should be increased dramatically probability-wise. Right now, again, it's around like probably like a 0.1% chance that you have a bad throw on a mistimed high ball. That should get raised literally to 30, 40, 50%. If that is what it became, it would easily, you would see people less high balls just because no one's able to get that perfect accuracy happening. And then you have to pay the price if you don't get it, which makes it an actual high-risk throw, which, similar to the real NFL, that is a hard ball to throw. And if you misplace it, one, your receiver's spleen is going to get taken out by a linebacker most of the time. Two, it's just a missed throw that's going to go over his head, or, it's a one-handed, you know what I mean? It is a hard place to put the balls when you're going for those, for lack of a better word, just calling them high balls in real life, right? It's a hard place to put the ball. So there should be more consequence for going for that and not getting perfect accuracy. I think that's the easiest way to go about fixing it. All right. The second fix that I want to talk about before we get into AP updates on the second fix is that right now, so to counteract the issue that we were having at the beginning of the year where tip picks were happening a lot to D linemen, which is an issue, they decided to, or even to blitzers in general, they decided to lower the slider of how people catch tip picks in general. So right now, take for example, if I throw into triple coverage, that ball gets tipped up or something because it's triple coverage, no one's going to catch that. Even if somebody's right here, boom, it just falls. The issue with that is because it happens a lot in double and triple coverage. So the fix, and again, I don't know how this one gets implemented as easily, is that blitzers should not be catching tip picks at all. If you blitz a slot corner, he should never pick the ball off. Why? Because your adjustment on that play is for him to be blitzing the quarterback. You are not trying to get him to pick the ball. Again, I am talking, though, purely from a competitive gameplay standpoint, okay? This is competitive gameplay is not meant to emulate real football, rather creating competitive integrity, right? So if you're blitzing somebody, he should never catch it. Now, if there's a normal tip pick or a normal tipped up pass that goes in defender's hands, good chance I think that should be picked. Now, there's probably certain scenarios where I disagree with that maybe a little bit, but for the most part, I feel like we can all kind of agree on that, right? If you throw into double coverage, that ball gets tipped up, and someone comes down and gets it, it should probably be picked, right? And additionally, a wide receiver shouldn't be able to come, like if it gets thrown in double coverage, ball gets tipped up, a third wide receiver or a second wide receiver shouldn't be able to run in and scoop that catch. Because again, the intentions of you throwing that ball was to go to this receiver, right? Never ever should that ball get tipped up and another receiver come in and come scoop it in a competitive landscape. Again, for simulation mode, awesome. For arcade, hilarious, love it. But in terms of creating competitive integrity, you should never really have that happen because that's dumb. Because that'll happen for you, but it won't happen for me. Or it'll happen for me in a game, but won't happen for you in a game. That's stupid. That's not good for competitive integrity, right? I think those are the two big ways to kind of fix the current meta we're seeing in offense. The third thing I want to get into, again, before we get into AP updates, is that man coverage literally needs to become worse. Okay, at the very least, it needs to become consistent. All right, the amount of routes I know in this game that will sometimes beat man coverage and then sometimes won't beat man coverage is an issue. Right now, the best man-beating route is a streak because of the high ball X. It is a streak route. That is the most consistent. If you run man coverage one-on-one against a streak, I will catch it 95% of the time. That's bad. And that's bad. That's the most consistent route. There's no other route that beats man 100% of the time, really. It just isn't. Even if you think there is, you're not playing like you're not playing the level, the caliber of player who knows how to really take that away with man coverage, which is, again, an issue. You'll find some routes that beat it 50% of the time, but again, if me and you are playing and my route we run the exact same route, mine happens to be beating man coverage and yours doesn't, that's bad for competitive integrity, right? So we got to make man coverage either A, more consistent, or B, just tone it back a little, make it a zone coverage meta. Zone coverage metas are much better for skill gap in general anyways, all right? So going into the AP updates now from that, it's very simple. Inside shade, which is the best man coverage ability really, for negating some of the man beating routes, needs to be bumped to 6 AP. At a minimum, 6 AP. Right now, people can get 4 of them on the field. You should only be able to get 2. Simple as that. I will stand by that. Under pressure, this is a fluke ability. Literally, under pressure will make, if you manage to make a perfect read, hit the button before pressure gets in against a blitz, you should have an accurate pass. You are making the correct read, making the correct decision, and getting it off before the blitz gets to you. You should not get an under pressure penalty. I just strongly disagree with that. And right now you can get it for 1 AP. Should be bumped to 4 AP. Okay? I'll stand by that. Edge threat and double or nothing, I think should get bumped to 5 AP. Although this one I'm not as upset about. They're really good in this game, but I'm not crazy upset about them. They just are what they are. Right now a lot of dudes get it for 3, I believe, and I think they should get it for 5. Just so you can't really stack inside shades and edge threats. But again, Fearless, I think Fearless should be 1 AP, and I would not be surprised to say even I think there could be a quarterback, or should be a quarterback, that gets it baked in for like 0. Like some people get unpredictable for 0. If we're going to be doing that, I think Fearless needs to get baked in for 0. I'll say it. You should get rewarded for making the correct read before pressure gets there. You should, right? You should not get rewarded on defense for sending pressure, giving up an open route, and then, oh, well, I blitzed 7, so you had somebody in your face, and so you couldn't make the throw. No. If I hit the button and I get the throw off before your pressure comes in, I should have an accurate pass. There's no reason not to have an accurate pass. I'm beating the pressure, right? Especially if I'm throwing to an open receiver. I just beat you in the chess match. That is competitive Madden. That's beautiful, right? Knockout abilities, these are really frustrating. I think knockout abilities across the board, both zone and man, should all get bumped up 1 AP. At least 1 AP. You could probably argue 2. I'm just not familiar enough with what their APs are right now, to be honest with you. I just know you can get a lot of them. At least 1 AP. One of the most frustrating things inside of this meta is that right now you can beat man coverage on a 50% route. Let's say you beat man coverage on that route that time, and then you catch it, possession catch it even, and then you get tackled and he just drops it. That is dumb. That is really dumb. And the issue additionally on top of that is, let's take mid-route KO, for example. Mid-route KO can activate on a corner. It can also activate on a post. There's only mid-in elite or mid-out elite. They don't activate on both. So even the catching ability that's supposed to negate that, you have to have 2 catching abilities, mid-in and mid-out, just to match the mid-route KO. It's pretty dumb, in my opinion. I think that's dumb. I've actually never really even thought of it like that until I was talking about it just now. But gameplay-wise, though, we are in a spot where we can get really good gameplay if the dev team takes advantage of the spot we're at right now and makes these fixes in the next couple of weeks. I believe we're going to get a title update here soon. We haven't had one for, I want to say, like a month, at least a big gameplay update for about a month. I think if we make these fixes, we are going to be in a good spot in Madden 23. I'm curious what they'll do. Obviously, they won't make these fixes exactly, I hope. I'm reiterating a lot of what's kind of the common sentiment around competitive Madden right now. Again, the way the meta flow works in Madden is that competitive Madden sets it, YouTubers kind of copy it, and then we'll see it become popular amongst, in common online play after YouTubers start running it and after tournaments. I'm lucky. I'm one of the people that helps not lucky, but I guess I'm one of the people that does help set the meta. And I'm also, you guys see in my content, I've talked about it, I'm trying actively to stop agging and stuff. But the fact of the matter is, if all my videos were me agging, you'd see aggressive catches become way more meta online, etc., etc. So that's kind of the way that process works. And right now, I'm telling you, I am seeing competitive Madden. So this is what is going to happen here soon, where aggressive catches are going to be happening in every online game that you see, unless they make some of these changes. So I'm hoping they do. We'll see. Mutt is something that I'm not going to get into right now. I'm very frustrated with how Mutt is. I know they just say they're investigating the issues. Need them to get these issues fixed, man. Season 2 is almost here, thank God. I hope that Season 2 kind of, changes things and, gets us going in the right direction. The fact of the matter is, if they improve gameplay here and fix some of these things I'm talking about, and Season 2 comes off without a hitch, we're on the best Madden trajectory still that we've seen in a few years, right? The fact of the matter is, it's October. We're playing this game, heavy until May, right? That's the fact of the matter. Until next August when the next one comes out. But if they can nail Season 2 of Mutt and gameplay, they're able to get ahead of some of these things that are about to become a really polarizing and kind of nasty meta. We're in a really good spot Madden-wise, which does excite me, right? I've been a little bit pessimistic recently, but I want to get a little more optimistic. And that really is how I see it. That if they just are able to get ahead of these things a little bit, we'll be in a good spot. All right, boys? Hey, you made it to the end of the video, meaning that you probably enjoyed it. If you did, check out this one right here. You're going to like it even more. Or consider going in the description and check out my website, civil.gg. Learn how I play the game of John Madden football. All right? See you in the next one.